Hello, my name is Philip and I'm an independent Amsoil dealer, and I wanted to talk to you today about the automatic transmission fluid available from Amsoil. It currently comes in three different grades. The universal transmission fluid, now it's known as multi-vehicle transmission fluid. I've had a very good experience with in the past, and in 2009 a newer fluid was introduced to meet the modern spec for nearly every vehicle on the market today. There's also another fluid available for Ford Mercon applications. My experience with the multi-vehicle transmission fluid really sold me on the product. I had an old car I pulled out of the weeds and put together, and it had a noise in low gear. Couldn't get rid of that noise. I tried different products, cleaners, etc., and it just persisted. One day I pumped out all the transmission fluid in it. It had a 10-quart capacity, and I believe I refilled it with 8 quarts, so that's 80% of the capacity. And about 2 weeks of driving it, I noticed that it started to shift smoother, and that noise just faded away, and I can't remember ever hearing that noise after that. I run the transmission on my job. I run it. Sometimes I run 2 tanks of fuel through it every day, and I never touched that transmission again as long as I had the car, which was about 5 years later. I'm very impressed with that fluid. I had a similar experience in a load flight transmission in a harvester truck. I had it rebuilt, and within 6 months of just driving it to and from work, the transmission failed. The torque converter exploded and filled the transmission fluid with this black metal fiber stuff. Looked like it had been in a differential for at least 10 years. I went ahead and had that transmission built again and flushed the cooler out. I run it about 2 weeks, and then I drained the oil out of the pan and the torque converter, serviced it out, and refilled it with Amsoil. I believe I put 8 quarts in that too, and that was the maximum capacity. I changed the tires from 30 inches to 33 inches, which puts more stress on the transmission. I drove it in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's incredibly hot, and I never touched that transmission in at least 2 years. I'm here to tell you that the transmission fluid offered by Amsoil is by far the best product I've ever run across. It will save your transmission from failure, which anybody that's ever been through that knows that a remanufactured transmission is $3,000. Some of these with the modern electronics in them can be up to $5,000 with installation. But I just want to share my experience with the Amsoil product. I believe that once you get over the initial cost of installing the fluid in your transmission, you'll be very pleased with it. It will extend the life of your transmission dramatically. I believe the literature produced by Amsoil claims 300 hours of service using conventional fluid and 600 or more hours using the Amsoil synthetic fluid. That's very impressive, and I've conducted a little testing on my own with some other oils, and there's absolutely no comparison. Below in the comments or the description, I'm going to put a link to my corporate web store where you can find my contact information or possibly shop for products. Thank you for your time and interest in Amsoil products.